What's up, Hoop Tech? And my name is Kassandra Morrison. We went over playing with planes and also a few half arm roll and body roll variations. So the first thing we focused on was holds. So we learned the outside escalator, starting thumbs up in our dominant hand. We did half a shoulder roll, intercepting palms up with my left hand. Then I let it fold down, pulling it to the opposite side of my body, and doing a contact fold across. So the full move looks like this. After this, we went over folded tosses, and we used this hinge motion on a wheel plane, and we brought the hoop back towards us, and we went to toss it. We did a slight toss, bring your hand back towards us in order to create the fold. And we also did this on the front of us on wheel plane, and we brought the hoop back towards us. We flipped it and we brought it back towards us again. We talked about how folded tosses can be used as a hinge. So we talked about the escalator and how you can use a hand spin to create a contact fold. So you're going to use the hand spin to create a hoop trap, having your hand at a 90-degree angle. We're going to use the momentum of this hinge to bring the hoop back behind us into an escalator. So the full move looks like this. At the top, we're going to hinge it down into the escalator. When we want to use a folded toss into this, we can use the folded toss and intercept it out so that we can hinge it back into the escalator again. So we would use our folded toss, we'd catch with a 90-degree angle, and then we'd use that hinge out to go back into the escalator. After this, we moved on to body rolls. The first one we learned was a half arm roll with a arm tracer. So we had our left arm waiting back near our shoulder, and we used our thumb to create a half rotation. So we did half an arm roll, catching palms up. We stick our thumbs in to do half a rotation, and we catch it with the same hand. After this, we learned the half elbow to arm roll. So we had our elbow in towards our chest, giving it a path all the way to our opposite arm. We're going to throw slightly over our elbow so it's halfway above our elbow, creating a path down into our normal chest roll. After this, we talked about the half arm roll into forward Bronson, which looks like this. That's not it. In order to do this, we're going to focus on having contact with our forearm. So we talked about starting in between our ring finger and our thumb, coming up to our fingertips all the way down to the forearm so that we have enough contact to control the roll. So once we do a half arm roll, just before it releases, just has a release in my hand and my palms underneath it, I'm going to wave my arm and my shoulder forward to give the hoop path behind me. If you catch with your left hand, you're in the perfect place to go directly into the contact body roll. After this, we worked on the fishbowl roll. So we started on wheel plane. We brought the hoop in towards us using a grip as a training wheel. So we had the grip. We brought it in towards our chest so it folded flat and released it out into our opposite hand. So without the grip, we're going to roll to the top of our hand, giving the hoop direction, tilting our arm in so that it will fold over our chest, out to the opposite arm. We talked about how you can pivot underneath this in order to catch behind your back. So we did half a fishbowl roll, and just as it met center of our chest, we turned into it, catching with our right or left hand. The most easiest is catching with your left, which will give you the position to do the contact body fold as soon as you get out of it. So we do half a fishbowl roll, just as it meets the center of your chest, you turn into it. The last thing we went over is a continuous chest roll. We talked about using having your left hand waiting behind you, doing half a back roll, turning counterclockwise into it as a pivot, and it will roll out into a chest roll. Without having your hand waiting, if you were to do the full move, we get as much momentum as we can, contact from the fingertips. We roll to our back and out through our chest, turning counterclockwise. the opposite variation is starting from our chest. So we'd start here, and just as it passes my right shoulder, I turn into it, giving a pathway across the back of my shoulders out to my palm. That was it.
Yay!